Chapter 18, Google in 3 parts: Search, Online Advertising, and an Alphabet of Opportunity. After completing this unit, you should understand the extent of Google's rapid rise and its size and influence when compared with others in the media industry. You will recognize the shift away from traditional advertising media to Internet advertising and gain insight into the uniqueness and appeal of Google's corporate culture. First, Google started by providing Internet search capability. But behind the scenes, the company is driven by advertising revenue. Google links advertisers with users through a variety of means. Over time, Google has expanded into several new areas under the umbrella of the technology conglomerate known as Alphabet. These areas include medical, financial, high-speed internet, and smart home products. For Google, advertising drives profits. As a result, Google offers most of its services for free. In addition, Google has been voted as one of the best firms to work for in the United States. Their goal is for users to spend more time on Google. They accomplish this by adding a variety of services. More user contact means more advertising revenue. Here we see the founders of Google. They have been well rewarded for their efforts. From a business perspective, Google has been very successful. Google became one of the 20 most profitable firms in the United States and has a market capitalization of over $550 billion as of September 2016 and over $780 billion as of July of 2019. Let's explore the 3 parts of Google. We'll start with the search function. Review the video for an introduction to Google Search. The URL is included if you have issues with the actual link. Then, use the search function to look at the search results for the Apple MacBook Pro. Here are the results from a previous search. Your results will vary. Take a look at the detail of the search results. Using the previous search, we highlight the advertising that is embedded within the search results. Notice the 2 types of ads using graphics and text. The third section of the window shows the organic results, which would be the actual search results. This is the content that the user would see, but without all the advertising. Let's start by understanding the basics of how a search works. Organic or natural search shows the search results returned and ranked according to relevance. PageRank is the algorithm used to rank web results based on best match to the search request. While not the only method used, PageRank looks at how many links exist to a particular page. The page with the most links moves to the top of the list. Search engine optimization, or SEO, is the process of improving a page's organic search results. One goal is to reduce link fraud. Link fraud occurs when a user creates a series of bogus websites all linking back to the pages one is trying to promote. Doing so artificially moves a page further up the list. This is also called spamdexing or link farming. For a search to be successful, you must have an index of the various pages that are out on the internet. Spiders, web crawlers, and software robots are used to traverse available web links to perform a given task. For example, a spider might start on a given page and look for all the links on that page. The spider will then go to each of those links to find the links on those pages, and so on. The list of pages found is added to the index to be used as part of the search process. Another term used in the process is the cache. This is a temporary storage space in the computer's memory used to speed computing tasks by providing quick access to necessary data. The dark web is made up of internet content that cannot be indexed by standard search engines. A Google search will not find pages on the dark web. As noted previously, the dark web is used by Facebook to store content. A server farm is a network of computer servers running software to coordinate their collective use. These servers work together using their combined resources to provide customer services. Google Server Farm contains servers that are set up to be fault tolerant. This means that there is little or no impact if a device fails. For example, fault-tolerant systems include duplicate power supplies, In case one fails, the other one takes over seamlessly. Colos are co-location facilities where telecom companies come together to exchange traffic. These large facilities link up different telecom networks and help make the Internet function as a network of networks. For part 2 of the 3 parts of Google, we will review the importance of online advertising to Google. Review this video for an overview and return here when done. As we have discussed, one way that search is completed is through the PageRank tool, which is named after Google co-founder Larry Page. The importance of online advertising is based upon the increased user time online and the availability of improved measurement and accountability. Traditional advertising was difficult to track. However, online advertising views and clicks can be gathered and used to analyze the impact of a particular ad. The goal is to increase the productivity of the advertising, thus enabling a firm to spend money only on its best prospects. With online advertising, each time an ad is served to a user for viewing, we have an impression. By tracking these impressions, advertisers can quantify the effectiveness of an advertisement. Search engine marketing uses the technology to design, run, and optimize search engine advertising campaigns. These programs determine the advertising content that appears with search results. Keyword advertising uses ads targeting based on a user's search query. The words entered into a search are compared with the keywords linked to web pages. Advertisers bid on the keywords used to trigger the display of their ad. Linking advertising to purchasing intent makes Google's ads highly valuable. Search advertising uses a pay-per-click or PPC method. Advertisers do not pay unless someone clicks on an advertised link. Top-performing ads are measured by considering the maximum cost per click or CPC. This metric identifies how much an advertiser pays to Google every time a user clicks on their ad. Ads are ranked based upon the product of the CPC and the quality score. The quality score is a broad measure of ad performance. Several factors determine an ad's quality score. First, the click-through rate is a count of the number of users who clicked an ad divided by the number of times the ad was displayed to a user. Next, the overall history of click performance for the keywords linked to the ad is assessed. Google then considers the relevance of an ad's text to the user's query. Finally, the ad's quality score is affected by an automated assessment of the user experience on the landing page. The landing page is simply the web page displayed when a user clicks on an ad. This might be the home page for the company sponsoring the ad, for example. Google provides tools to help advertisers identify popular words and phrases for selecting the best keywords to link with an ad. The goal is to provide a best guess as to the search criteria selected by users. Google also offers dynamic search ads. These ads are generated automatically based on the content of a website. For example, if you are looking at a camping website, the ad might display camping equipment. Advertisers get a running total of ad performance statistics that monitor the return on their investment. These tools also help advertisers adjust their promotional efforts to optimize results. Another capability in Google's toolkit is geo-targeting. This tool identifies a user's location for the purpose of delivering tailored ads or content. For example, food ads could be aligned with stores near the user's location. Ads in Google Search can be geo-targeted based on the IP address of the user. The IP address is a numerical value used to identify the computer or other device used to connect to the Internet. This address changes depending on how and where the user connects to the Internet. Mobile devices are a mixed blessing for Google. Mobile devices provide anywhere access to the Internet. The downside is that mobile users spend roughly 86% of their time using different apps. That leaves only 14% of user attention on the web where Google resides. Individual specialized apps take users away from Google. Another problem with mobile apps is the inclusion of advertising within the app. App owners are becoming even more useful advertisers with the rise of deep linking. This is a type of link that directs a user to a specific web page or launches an app while bringing up a unique location rather than simply launching the original app. Google has created ad networks that link advertisers to websites and other content providers who are willing to host advertisements in exchange for payment. AdSense is a tool that displays ads based on keywords found inside the content of a website. If you are looking at an automotive website, you might see ads for a local dealer. The ad network provides contextual advertising, which is based on the website's content. This is an automated process that has risks. Your ad might suffer from content adjacency problems. This occurs when an ad might appear near content or another ad that the advertiser would like to avoid. Consider a fast food ad near a weight loss article. Display networks refer to the collection of websites that Google uses to run display or image advertisements. These ad networks offer a competitive advantage to Google. The networks provide the ability to reach more potential customers and thus attract more advertisers and more advertising revenue. Smart content providers look for ad networks with the most advertisers. They know that the existence of more participants brings in more revenue and helps the firm benefit from economies of scale. The result is a better return on investment from its ad technology and infrastructure. Most graphical display ads are sold according to impressions. Remember that an impression is counted each time your ad is shown on a search result page. The results for advertising are based on CPM, which is the cost per thousand impressions. Google also offers an affiliate program where program sponsors pay websites a percentage of revenue earned from a referral. If a click on an ad on a search page results in a sale, Google gets a cut. Internet advertising is very powerful due to the different types of media that may be used. Image or display ads are a type of graphical advertising which are much more powerful than traditional text ads. Rich media ads can be even more attractive to consumers since they can include animation, audio, or video. Internet advertising also offers interstitials. These are ads that run before a user arrives at a website's contents. The Internet Advertising Bureau, or IAB, is also available to evaluate and recommend interactive advertising standards and practices. Following the IAB's guidelines ensures that your ads appear cleanly regardless of the user's platform. Google has the ability to study their search users through customer profiling and behavioral targeting. Communication between a web browser and the web server includes the user's IP address, which is used extensively in customer profiling. Google knows what browser you are using along with the type of computer and operating system you have. Google also installs cookies on your computer. Cookies consist of lines of text containing details about the user and their past choices. This data is created, stored on your computer, and retrieved by the web server as needed. Remarketing is a technique that shows custom, targeted ads to a user when visiting other sites, if the user has already visited a certain page on the advertiser's site. For example, let's say you visit a website on camping gear. Later, when you perform a Google search, an ad appears alongside for the camping gear. Cookies allow advertisers to obtain details on user purchases. This knowledge lets advertisers tailor websites to display products most likely to be of interest to a user. Cookies are also used to keep track of the contents of a user's shopping cart. When you return to a site's shopping cart later, the items that you had originally chosen will still be there. Cookies store user IDs and passwords as part of the Remember Me feature. If you clear these cookies, you'll have to remember all those passwords. In addition, there are third-party cookies which work across multiple websites to identify and record users. These cookies are managed by ad networks or firms that create customer profiles. Are you sure that collecting all this user information is a good thing? It is for the company. This technology can lead to concerns of user privacy. The U.S. Federal Trade Commission has called for greater transparency and user control in online advertising. Users should have to opt in when websites are collecting sensitive data. Opt-in is a program that requires customer consent. Websites would need the user's agreement prior to collecting data on their activities. The opposite is what typically happens, which is called opt-out. This occurs when websites enroll all customers by default, but allows them to discontinue participation if they choose. To aid transparency, Google allows users to see all the categorizations assigned to a browser's tracking cookie. Users may also remove categorizations or add interests to better align with their needs. Users also have the option to install a cookie or plugin that opts them out of interest-based tracking cookies. A plugin is a small set of software that adds to the features or capabilities of another application. Like many aspects of online activity, online advertising is susceptible to fraud. Enriching click fraud is based on generating bogus ad clicks to earn cost per click income where advertisers pay for ad exposure. Similarly, enriching impression fraud occurs when generating false page views to boost a site's CPM or cost per thousand impression earnings. In both cases, advertisers end up paying for consumer exposure that did not occur. Another form of online advertising fraud occurs with the depleting click fraud. Here, a company clicks a rival's ads to make them think they are getting increased views while running up their bill for advertising. This will result in an empty advertising budget. With depleting impression fraud, a company generates bogus impressions to exhaust a rival's CPM ad budget. Rank-based impression fraud is perpetrated by repeatedly searching keywords that are linked to the ads of a rival. This will lower their performance rank, moving them down the list in search results. Next, with disbarring fraud, bogus clicks or impressions associated with rivals are generated. The result may be that the rival is banned from the ad network. Link fraud occurs by creating bogus websites that all link back to a page in the hope of increasing that page's results in the results of an organic search. Keyword stuffing packs a website with unrelated keywords to attract higher value contextual ads and increase traffic to the site. For example, one company might add the keywords of a rival company to direct traffic looking for their competitor to them. With the increased impact of social media, a new form of fraud has appeared. Social influence fraud generates fake followers, likes, ones, retweets, shares, or YouTube views. The goal is to elevate content artificially. Click farms recruit a network of users to engage in some form of click fraud, thereby spreading IP addresses across several systems. This method makes it difficult for applications to block fraudulent actors. Often, hackers use botnets or zombie networks to perpetrate fraud or criminal activities. Botnets are made up of hacked or infiltrated computers that are taken over, linked together, and controlled by the hacker to execute a coordinated attack on a business system. Several competitive forces drive the internet advertising world. As previously discussed, major scale advantages exist in search and network effects in advertising. The dominance of Google helps them grow a robust data asset that they can use to continuously improve their services and business offerings. At the same time, the existence of multiple ad networks makes it easier to shift business between firms. The techniques deployed by Google can be copied by their competition. As a result, Google must offer superior value to retain advertisers. Facebook is one of the biggest threats to Google's advertising dominance. Facebook's ad network is the basis for that threat. Some analysts suggest that Facebook's customer profiles contain more accurate demographic data than Google. In the digital world, switching costs for search users are incredibly low, increasing the overall threat to Google's advertising revenues. Google faces the prospect of slower growth in the future, which is putting pressure on their stock price. To maintain their growth trajectory, Google will need to pursue large new markets that pose increased risk. Microsoft may pose a new threat to Google. Plus, Google's dominance in the market has attracted the attention of the U.S. government, with Google being investigated for antitrust violations. To continue their future growth, Google is investing heavily in methods to promote wider Internet access. This includes working with the government to remove barriers created by different Internet carriers. Another growth opportunity exists with the Google Glass. This device has struggled to achieve general acceptance. Some niche users exist, for example, in the medical space. They have also expanded their device activities with the Nest thermostat and related products. Other threats to Google include Android's Pay application, hoping to replace your credit cards and identification. In addition, Google's success in social media has been shadowed by the fact that its two biggest successes, YouTube and Blogger, were acquired and not homegrown. For Part 3, we consider what's next for Google. Review this video and return here when done. What are your impressions from the video? Do you agree with the analysis? Next, here's a link to a discussion on a few Easter eggs or surprises from Google. Enjoy. Return here once you have completed your exploration. In summary, we have discussed various aspects of the Google business model. Consider what makes Google different and more effective than its competitors. While there are many factors, even beyond what we discussed here, one of the biggest comes from network effects. This occurs when the value of a product or service increases as its number of users expands. We discussed the three major components of Google. Just like Amazon has AWS to support their infrastructure, Google has the Google Container Data Center. Review these videos for more detail on this powerful capability. Return here once you have completed watching these videos. That concludes our discussion on Google. This is also the final presentation for the class. I hope that the content has been informative and of value in your future career activities. Good luck with your future studies. Never stop learning.